there if needed. All of these cases are actually treatable, but if left untreated can lead to disability and can be fatal. So let's just be cognizant of that. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Are we done? Yes, Councillor Stoli.
Thank you, Speaker. Let me send my condolences to former or MMC in neighboring municipality who was a victim of the floods. Malanga, MMC Mwevu. Also, learned to one of my ward committee members, Nkosnati Ngobeni, who hosted a very successful tournament during December. Sure that the children within the ward, they are not started the tournament. It was in Port Chabazane Foundation, and also congratulating Port Chabazane. He grew up in front of our eyes for playing Orlando Pirates. Even although my heart is torn, he's come to another side. He decided to go to another side. Also to congratulate the executive mayor and everybody who have committed and make sure that our children are getting into the safer transport. Because it means you are using the route. There's something wrong with that. Then we'll have a similar situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Mariana Clear.
Thank you. Speaker, I also would like to send my scholars, their families, their friends, and one of our own DA MPs who was sadly affected then where he lost both his nephews in the same accident. And I also stand again today, Speaker, as a woman councillor and as the leader of Dawn in the Vaal region. 2 25-year-old ladies were kidnapped and murdered again. And I don't know what to say or what to do, because with us who are councillors, especially ward councillors, these are our children. We raise them in our wards. They have families, they belong to us, they belong to our community. And my heart is broken, Speaker, that they can disappear for so long and then they are found. And it's not the first time, but can we please, as civil servants and community servants, stand up for our children and for our people, because it's not only children that are getting kidnapped, but also other people who are being marginalized, and drugs are coming into Midvaal. There's a new drug that's coming into my ward and it's devastating. I just want to reach out and say, let us pray for our communities in Midvaal. Let us communities in the Vaal, let's pray for South Africa, because this is not the life that we are meant to live. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Anybody else, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Mr. Blana.
Confirmation of previous meeting. Recommendation that the minutes of the 10th council meeting held on 2 December 2025 be approved.
Agreement, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Mr. Blana.
That the minutes of the 12th special council meeting held on 15 December 2025 be approved.
Any comments, suggestions, amendments? Are we in agreement?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Blana.
That the minutes of the special council meeting held on 2026 be approved.
Do we agree? Thank you.
That the minutes of the second special council meeting held on 22 January 2026 be approved.
Are we in agreement? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Blana.
Questions of which notice has been given, motions or from previous meetings, there are none.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the program, I'm going to ask our representative from the Auditor General's office, Mr. Mohammed Jaji, I think is your surname, if I'm correct, sir. Would you please come to the podium and present the AG's report for us?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker, Speaker of Council, Executive Mayor, Cs, Councillors, and everyone. Standing here and presenting the audit outcome via the audit report for the Midvaal local municipality for the 2024-25 financial year. Overall, Honourable Speaker, the audit outcome for the municipality is unqualified with material findings on the annual performance report and compliance. That is commonly known in audit, and it's the 12th, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the 12th consecutive year that the Midvaal local municipality has achieved this outcome, and I would like to congratulate the municipality on this outcome. Yes, for 12 consecutive years, it's an achievement, and I think, Mayor, you need to big party for the whole of Midvaal and invite the AG as well. Thank you. Honourable Speaker, I'll be taking the council through the audit report, which I think it's presented on the screen. As you can see, our audit report is broken up into different sections. The first section is the report on the audit of the financial statements. Paragraph 1 and 2 is the opinion paragraph, and as I mentioned, it's an unqualified audit opinion. During the audit of the financial statements, we did identify some adjustments which were not material. Those were corrected by management, and overall, the financial statements fairly presented the position of the municipality, which resulted in an unqualified audit opinion. Paragraphs 3, 4, and 5 are standard wording paragraphs from the audit report, which is just basis for the opinion, and I'm not going to go through that in detail. From paragraph 6 onwards is the emphasis of matter paragraphs. Just to mention that the emphasis of matter paragraphs do not have an impact on the audit opinion. The emphasis of matter paragraphs, we highlight issues that are already disclosed in the financial statements by the municipality. So we just highlight to the users of the financial statements the disclosures that are already in the financial statements, and those relate to the provision for water and electricity losses, the impairments, the contingent liability, and so forth. And then if we move over to paragraph 14 and 15, it is the responsibilities of the accounting officer for the financial statements, and the next paragraph is the responsibilities of the Auditor General. The next important section on the audit report is the report on the audit of the annual performance report, which is which, as you can see in the section of the annual performance report, we scoped in KPA 6 for the audit, for the testing of the audit for the current financial year. And the reason why we scoped in KPA 6 because it relates to the key service delivery areas of the municipality. If you look at paragraph 21, it just the procedures, we just highlight the procedures that we performed in the audit of the annual performance report. And then if you look at paragraph 20, paragraph 31, it just says, I did not identify any material sorry, that's the wrong one. Let me just go back to the, if you look at the other meta paragraphs on paragraph 20, from paragraph 20, sorry, the lighting is a bit bad, so I just can't see it properly. So it's paragraph. Which one? No, it's fine. Can I hold it? All right. No, it's fine. Thanks. So if we look at paragraph 22 and 23, it says that I did not identify any material findings on the reported performance information that we scoped in the performance report. The other meta paragraphs, we just highlight the achievement of planned targets. As you can see in paragraph 25, we just, in 26, we highlight the targets that were not achieved for KPA 6. Overall, the municipality achieved an 89% achieved KPA 6, and the only two indicators that were not achieved were the percentage of water losses and the percentage of household with access to basic water. Also, during the annual audit of the annual performance report, we did identify material misstatements on the annual performance report for KPA 6. Management subsequently corrected the material findings, and that and because of the amendments made to the annual performance report, the audit opinion remained unqualified on the annual performance report. In terms of the next key section on the audit report is paragraph 28. It's the report on the compliance with legislation. The key paragraph in this section is paragraph 31, where it says, I did not identify any material non-compliance selective legislative requirements. From paragraph 32 onwards, it's just information that we've included in the annual report, in the audit report, on the information that is included in the annual report. Subsequent to the date of this audit report, we did receive the annual report from management, and we looked at it this week. We gave our input into the changes that we made, and I saw an email today that came through that management have subsequently corrected all the corrections that we required in the annual report. So the annual report is ready to reviewed by ourselves. And then the last paragraph, Honorable Speaker, is the internal control deficiencies. Because it's a clean audit, we did not identify any significant deficiencies in internal controls in the audit, during the audit. The next 2 pages are just the annexes to the audit report. If you look at, it just highlights the Auditor General's responsibilities for the audit, and these annexes form part of the audit opinion, so they'll be included in the annual report. And then the last section on the audit report is the compliance with legislation. Here we just highlight the key legislation that we audit during the audit process, and we highlight the regulations and sections within the key legislation that we've looked at during testing. So, Honourable Speaker, that's the audit report. But as a parting shot for Council, we just got a few parting shots for Council just to take into consideration for the year ahead. The first one is Council should continue to provide oversight and support to management to maintain the clean audit outcome. Number 2 is the Council should continue to monitor and enhance the implementation of the strategies for revenue collection, prevention of water and electricity losses. The third one is to monitor the achievement of key service delivery targets, that is annual performance report. And finally, just to continue to monitor progress on investigations and the implementation of the remedial actions on the investigations. That's the story from the AG side, Honourable Speaker. And I don't know if there's any queries or questions from any of the councillors. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker.
Are there any questions for Mr. Georgie? Councillor Sloka?
Speaker, thank you. It is not a question, Speaker. It is just a comment. I am very much happy that the Auditor General's office has raised the issue of the remedial actions, particularly with regard to the issues of the consequence management when FW. And I am very much happy about Speaker, and this will ensure that we will also make sure that we also deal with that, because we have a process of dealing with that there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much, Mr. Georgie. You're welcome to stay if you wish, but if you need to go, we'll excuse you.
Thank you, Speaker. Can I excuse you?
Of course you can, yes. Thank you
Thanks.
once again.
Thank you, everyone.
Please
Thanks.
go well, travel safely.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
The report of the Mayoral Committee.
David Meyer.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Greetings to yourself. Greetings to the Chief Whip, Alderman Phil Pretorius, Alderman Miboni Modikeng, Alderman Papers, members of committees, Councillor, Municipal Manager, departments, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again. Speaker, allow me to begin by welcoming all members of this August House to the very first Ordinary Council meeting of 2026. I trust that everyone had a well-deserved period of rest and returns re-energized as we embark on the final year of our term. Colleagues, it has been a long journey to arrive at this point, and I am proud of the collective work we have delivered as a Midvaal Council. We have remained steady in our commitment to reliable service delivery to our residents. Where we have fallen short, we have demonstrated the willingness to self-correct, recalibrate, and improve, always placing the needs of our community at the center stage of our actions. Fellow councillors, now is not the time to become complacent. Let us conclude this term with the same level of dedication and commitment that defined our tenure. Let us continue to uphold Midvaal's proud tradition of good governance. Speaker, since the beginning of the year, our district has been confronted by a series of heartbreaking tragedies. I was deeply saddened by the passing of 17-year-old Thomas Jr. Sithole, a learner at Hoërskool Driehoek who tragically lost his life during a boat cruise on the Vaal River. The young is truly heartbreaking. I extend and heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, school, and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. Speaker, I'm deeply saddened by the tragic drowning of 11-year-old Sipho Nkomo at the Vaal Marina waterfront. On behalf of Council and the people of Midvaal, I extend our heartfelt condolences to Sipho's family, friends, and loved ones during this painful time. The loss of such a young life is really heartbreaking. I want to urge all patrons visiting our dams and rivers to remain vigilant and prioritize safety around our waterways. May Sipho's soul rest in peace, and may his family find comfort and strength in the support of the community. Speaker, I wish to convey my heartfelt condolences on the passing of Mr. Skalk Snyman. Mr. Snyman was a dedicated sportsman who served as vice chairperson of the school governing body, SGB, at Dr. Malan, and a rugby coach at both the school and club level in the Vaal Triangle. He was a passionate supporter of sports and youth development. He generously assisted young talent and brought communities together through his strong Christian values and care for others. He was beloved by the community and will be deeply missed. Speaker, on 19 January 2026, the Sedibeng district was once again brought to a standstill by a devastating tragedy in which 14 learners lost their lives in a horrific road accident. The learners were traveling in a private scholar transport vehicle that was involved in a collision with a truck near Van der Bijl Park. This unimaginable loss has shaken our communities to their core. My heartfelt condolences go to the parents, families, schools, and loved ones of the learners during this time of profound grief and sorrow. Speaker, in the aftermath of this tragedy, Midvaal intensified its efforts to strengthen road safety and ensure safer conditions for all road users, particularly our children. I joined the Traffic Division in conducting road safety inspections at Meyerton High School, Didier Primary School, Randval Primary School, and Elo Ridge Primary School. These inspections uncovered serious and unacceptable violations, especially within the scholar transport sector. In several vehicles, learners were found to be dangerously overloaded, with some forced to sit on benches. In extreme cases, learners were forced to sit on car batteries used as makeshift seats. We also identified heavy motor vehicles and buses that were unroadworthy, as well as minibus taxis operating without valid professional driving permits. A number of vehicles were discontinued from service due to critical mechanical defects, while others were impounded to prevent further risk to lives. Speaker, I must also just indicate that these operations have been continuing or have been happening in previous years, and it was not as a result of the tragic accident that happened in Vanderbijl Park. Midvaal has always been conducting these operations throughout Midvaal, and many of these minibus taxis or scholar transports that were not legal were impounded or dealt with accordingly. Speaker, having reflected on these painful moments, I now wish to turn more uplifting news that reflects progress and the promise of a brighter future. I wish to congratulate the matric class of 2025 for their outstanding performance. The 2025 National Senior Certificate matric pass rate is 88%. The performance marks a 0.7% improvement from the 87.3% pass rate achieved in 2024. The Gauteng matric class of 2025 achieved a record high of 89.06% rate, ranking third nationally. This performance marks a 0.6% improvement from the 88.4% pass rate achieved in 2024. I also wish to congratulate the Stenata School, Hoërskool Dr. Malan, and L. Tabernacle for achieving a 100% pass rate. Can we give them a round of applause? Mr. Speaker, may their success inspire and encourage other schools and learners across our municipality. As former President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela once said, open quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education is the great engine of personal development," close quote. I wish our matriculants every success as they embark on the next chapter of their journey. And I encourage them to use the power of education to shape a brighter future for themselves and for our country. Speaker, this year we are partnering with Soufflé Malt as well as Model Liquid Distributors for our Back to School campaign. On Friday, tomorrow, 30 January 2026, we will be visiting Laerskool Voorwaarts, Didier Primary School, and Randval Primary School to donate school shoes, socks, as well as dignity packs. This initiative is aimed at supporting learners on their educational journey. We want to ensure that learners remain motivated and do not lose hope due to lack of resources. Speaker, in line with the mayoral undertaking of creating opportunities for all, the municipality once again opened up applications for the mayoral student financial aid. The program was launched in 2024 to support students pursuing higher education qualification and is now in its third year. Since its inception, the fund has disbursed over 1.5 million in funding, benefiting more than 57 students and supporting them on their academic journeys. Our aim is to alleviate the financial burden on students, enabling them to focus on their studies and grow to make meaningful contributions to society. And Mr. Speaker, I am proud to say that one of our beneficiaries from the beginning of, the Mayoral Student Financial Aid when we launched it, this year has actually graduated as a millwright. So Mr. Joshua Els is here present here today, who benefited out of this, and today is a qualified millwright. He's standing at the back there. Mr. Speaker, I had to bring Mr. Els here so council does not say the mayor is lying to us. There's Mr. Joshua Els there, a resident of Midvaal, who is a fully qualified millwright. And if you get skill in this country. So congratulations, Mr. Els. We are really, really proud of you. Speaker, I am pleased to report to Council that the Stelo Transformative Housing Initiative is now 95% complete. The project is set to benefit 540, a meaningful step towards improving living conditions and restoring dignity to our community in Stelo. There are only engineering matters that still need to be finalized between the municipality and the Gauteng Department of Human Settlements. This includes water and electricity connections, stormwater management, and road infrastructure before the houses can be allocated. While the construction of housing mandate of human settlement, the municipality has played an active and supportive role throughout this project. Mr. Speaker, you would remember that this very same council million rands worth of bulk contributions to kickstart this project. A good move from council because the houses are now complete as a result of this council's support. I think you deserve a round of applause. So, Mr. Speaker, council and the public will be duly informed once the allocation process is ready to commence. Speaker, Department of Roads and Transport, in partnership with Sedibeng District and the Midvaal local municipality, will be constructing a pedestrian bridge along the R59 highway in Meyerton. The project was awarded on 18 November 2025 and will be implemented over a 17-month period with a total investment of 64 million rand. This critical infrastructure is aimed at improving pedestrian safety by providing a secure crossing for our residents, particularly those from Stelo settlement accessing the Meyerton CBD. Midvaal will continue to play its facilitative role by reviewing plans, ensuring safety standards are upheld, and closely monitoring progress to guarantee the successful delivery of this project. So, Mr. Speaker, you would remember that there's been a number of fatalities on the R59 highway as a result of pedestrians that are coming to the eastern side of the municipality, coming from Stelo, crossing illegally on the highway. So now a contractor has been appointed for the construction of that footbridge, and this will mean that our residents will be able to access the CBD easier, but also to be safe. Speaker, we conducted multiple joint operations in December to clamp down on lawlessness and non-compliance with municipal bylaws. The operation was carried out in collaboration with the South African Police Services, including the K9 units, the Department of Home Affairs, Immigration Unit, Traffic Services, the Fire Department, as well as health and building inspectors. SAP's operations resulted in the arrest of undocumented foreign nationals, as well as individuals who employed and harbored or assisted them, and those involved in the sale of illicit cigarettes. Drug dealing hotspots were identified and have been flagged for urgent follow-ups with the South African Police Services. Roadblocks were also conducted to assess vehicle roadworthiness and driver compliance. Additional serious contraventions were uncovered, including shops operating in unhygienic trading conditions, inadequate fire safety measures, expired food products, unauthorized use of buildings and people living inside business premises. Mr. Speaker, we will intensify enforcement operations across the municipality to protect our residents and ensure compliance with the law. Speaker, in the past months, we have received an increasing number of complaints from Eskom-supplied customers regarding persistent power outages. The areas most affected include Val Marina, Delside, Walkerville, Hennion Klip, Didier, and Drumblade. These power outages have had a severe impact on residents and businesses who are left without electricity for hours and sometimes days. I want to all affected residents that these challenges are being treated with the seriousness they deserve. We will be engaging directly with Eskom's management as a matter of urgency to demand a clear action plan to address the ongoing power outages and restore a reliable electricity supply to our residents. Speaker, we are fully aware of the concerns raised by the residents regarding the condition of our roads. Recent heavy rainfall has placed significant pressure on our maintenance programs, resulting in unavoidable delays in many areas. Despite these challenges, the municipality has taken a decisive action and remains committed to restoring and improving our road network. Midvaal has implemented a turnaround plan for road maintenance using an area-based approach to maximize efficiency and impact. Roads are prioritized based on condition assessments, service delivery complaints, and the strategic importance of key routes. Maintenance activities include pothole repairs, road markings, signage, weed clearing, stormwater drainage, with multiple teams that are deployed per area where required. And this obviously, Mr. Speaker, is to improve road quality and reduce turnaround times. New materials such as dust suppressants for gravel roads are also being proposed. In addition, we are introducing slurry seal technology to extend the lifespan of existing surface roads in a cost-effective manner. This is a challenge we will overcome, and through focused action and accountability, our roads will be made safer to drive and restored to a pristine condition that we are used to. Mr. Speaker, I must indicate that some of our roads do hot tar instead of the cold mix that we traditionally use to repair potholes. And the Roads Department has identified new alternative material that will assist us in ensuring that we can speedily repair our roads and ensure that they do last much longer. Speaker, Midvaal has established a law enforcement unit to combat crime and strengthen crime prevention efforts across the municipality. The unit currently consists of 6 highly trained safety officers with specialized skills in crime prevention and intelligence-led operations. Since its inception, the law enforcement unit has recorded notable success. They have played a vital role in ensuring arrests, strengthening patrols across our communities, and responding effectively to reported cases. The establishment of the law enforcement unit is a significant milestone for this municipality. It reaffirms that our commitment to investing in the safety and security of all our people is genuine and not merely empty rhetoric. Speaker, the work of serving the more than 120,000 residents of Midvaal is far from complete. Despite the challenges we may face, whether operational or financial, we must remain steadfast in our commitment to improving the quality of life of our communities. I am confident in this Council's ability to fulfill the mandate entrusted to it by the people of Midvaal. Let us work collectively to ensure that every resident has access to reliable and uninterrupted basic services. Let us also create an enabling environment that attracts investment, stimulates the job creation, and promotes sustainable livelihoods. I encourage every member of this August House to approach the remainder of our term with renewed energy, unity, and an unwavering passion to serve the people of Midvaal. I thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Ms. Chabalala, would you proceed, please?
Items of the Speaker. Item C 3701, Consolidated Intergovernmental Relations Attendance Report, KPI 019, Quarter 2, 2025-2026. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement, ladies and gentlemen? Agreed. Thank you very much.
Items of the Section 79 committees. There are none. Items of the Mayoral Committee, non-delegated matters. Item C 3702, Approval of Annual Report 2024-2025, inclusive of Annual Performance Report, Annual Financial Statements, and Report of the Auditor General to Gauteng Provincial Legislature and the Council of Midvaal Local Municipality. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we approve the item? Thank you very much.
Item C 3703, Report on Municipal Amendment Regulations on Minimum Competency Levels of 2018 in terms of the Government Gazette Notice R493 and Government Gazette 41996 of 26 October 2018, Progress Report November 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we note the report? Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C 3704, Report on Municipal Amendment Regulations on Minimum Competency Levels of 2018 in terms of the Government Gazette Notice R493 and Government Gazette 41996 of 26 October 2018, Progress Report December 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we accept this report, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you.
Item C 3705, Request for approval to extend the acting period for Ms. P. Luswazi Chia, Director, Office of the Municipal Manager, as Acting Executive Director, Corporate Services, beyond 3 months from 1 February 2026 to 30 April 2026. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we granting the approval sought? Thank you.
Item C 3706, Employment Equity Status Core Report 2024-2025, KPI 029. Speakers for this item is from the EFF and Freedom Front Plus.
Councillor Slaughter, can we begin with you?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, we went through this report and we noted a few things here. That we have noted, Speaker, is the issue of, if you look at the workplace, it does not include one of the designated groups here. Can we call them the designated? When we talk about race, gender, and disability is not part of here. They are not included here. So we would like to find out, Speaker, as to what are the challenges, in fact, of not having people with disabilities in this workplace profile, Speaker. And also, if you look at the employment equity with regard to underrepresentation, the very same designated group but also included, Speaker, here. So it's like the whole process here, people with disabilities are not included. And we all know that they, by the Act, in fact, when you talk about the Section 20 of the Employment Equity, it also talks as to what are you supposed to report, which are the with regard to this one day student, Speaker. The issue with the staff development, because we could also career development, personal development that will aid staff development. Now, the question that we have, Speaker, is that are the people with disabilities included when when we are doing the staff development internally? And if the answer is yes, can we please get a report as to how many people with disabilities have been development, and so that they can also get the speaker. The speaker, we see that the advertisement also indicate that to encourage people with disabilities to apply. But for information's sake, because also inform our as an positions, like your directorate, your HODs, and all those departments. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Alderman Papers.
Speaker, thank you. Most of this issues has been asked by my friend to me. One question that is on the item 2 is that underrepresentation of the groups here. How are we going to rectify this? How do we do it? Because this is not under, but how are we going to do this just to rectify it to be the right thing? Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Papers. MEMC Motsamai.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on the first one, I think I fully agree with what the councillor is saying. We're supposed to have a column that indicates the status in terms of disability, of which is also a report that we submit to the Department of Labour. So I think going forward, I will also ensure that it's included in its completeness on this table so that it can reflect the numbers that we have as far as people living with disabilities are concerned. And with regards to also the report on the disability representation at high level and the applications and so forth, may I kindly request the councillor that on the next report, I will also make sure that it's included so that it also reflects the numbers that we have and the levels as well as the number of applications that we ordinarily get. The councillor is quite correct, Speaker. Every now and then when we go out on advertisements, we always encourage people with disability to also apply. Therefore, I think it is also something that we need to encourage the forums that are responsible for people living with disability to also share that message and ensure that we also indicate to them that their disability will not disadvantage them, especially when it comes to certain levels of positions. So definitely, Speaker, I concur with the councillor on that one. And Speaker, with regards to the that we have to attract the equity groups that is not represented properly or where we are not meeting the targets, you will see on page number 30, there is a way forward there that we're indicating what we are also going to do to ensure that we align with what is required from us. So it's definitely something that we will continue working on to make sure that we meet the targets. Speaker, I must say it is also the comments from the mayoral committee as well as the party of the day, which is the Democratic Alliance, that we need to encourage people from other groups to apply, because at the moment it seems like they assume the applications will not be considered on the basis of the note that we have at the bottom of the adverts. But what I committed to the mayor as well as the mayoral committee and our caucus is that we will have a workshop with all the councillors where we take you through the current targets, what we are doing as a municipality to attract people, and what are the messages that we would ask the councillors to also share with the community so that they are fully confident that their applications when it comes to the municipality will be considered on the basis of the skills match and taking into account the requirements in terms of the EE. So the targets are there, Mayor, Speaker. So you would see where we are underrepresented, we've indicated, so we are quite aware of it. And I think after the workshop that we are going to workshop the councillors on, we'll also ensure that we go out on public to encourage people from all races to apply, because ultimately we do not discriminate on the basis of either of the above, be it race, be it their disability and so forth. That's definitely something that we do not practice as a municipality, so we do not discriminate. If anything, I want to encourage the councillors to also please spread the message so that the communities also apply for the positions. Thank you, Speaker. But lastly, I want to commit to the councillor that the next report I will have those columns included on this. It is a report that we submit to the Department of Labour. The information is already there in terms of the template that is provided to us. So it's just a matter of making sure that it's included properly on the agenda. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, MMC. Are you covered? Yes, Councillor?
Yes, we welcome the response, Speaker. Thank you very much for the response. It is a fair response. But I would like to follow up with regard to the issue of the staff development, because we didn't get a response on that one. As to the people with disabilities included as part of the staff development. And then if that is able to get reports on that. Thank you.
MMC?
Certainly, Speaker, when we go on staff development, we do not discriminate on any of the above. So everyone, as long as they are the employees of the municipality, especially if they've indicated on their profiles that we keep at HR, they are taken through the development so that they also grow within the organization. So it would have to be I can try and see how to accommodate it in this particular report, but I also don't want to focus merely only on a certain group or disability. What we will then do is to see to what extent we can include the relevant information so that the councillors are fully abreast. But Speaker, I'm also happy to give before the next council that report to your office so that it can be circulated to the councillors in preparation for the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. Executive Mayor?
Speaker, thank you so much. I think we had deliberations at length as caucus as well as mayoral committee on this item. And I agree with both Councillor Lihloka as well as Alderman Papers on their views on this item. So, Mr. Speaker, if you look at our adverts, you'll see in the bottom there of each and every advert, it does say that preference will be given to applicants that promote representativeness in terms of employment equity targets. That's what all of our adverts say. So our equity targets and everything is here, is in this document. So which means, that's why Councillor Lihloka is saying, but why is it not showing here? So that you can hold council accountable in terms of, achieving the targets that have been set. So I think this should go out for all. We must ensure wherever we are falling short that we do catch up. I mean, it's right there. If you look at the number of Indians, number of coloreds, a number of whites, females, as well as males. This is where council should hold the administration accountable according to the targets here set out in this report. So I agree with Councillor Lihloka in terms of ensuring that we do, even if this is a template that is legislated, we must bring a report to council that speaks to people of disabilities, to report on progress in terms of employment, as well as developing people with disabilities. So I think it's very, very fair. But this is a report that we as council can hold the administration accountable to ensure that we meet all of these particular targets. As well as where we are overrepresented, we must also ask the question, if we are overrepresented at one particular group, why is it that we are overrepresented? Why are we struggling? Why are we underrepresented in other groups, etc.? But also, with having said that, I think it's quite important that we also encourage, as councillors, we encourage people of all races in our communities to apply for these positions. If they have the skills that we are looking for, the qualifications that we are looking for, They should apply despite their race, whether they are white, black, or colored, or Indian. They must be encouraged to apply. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this in a light that there is a community perception that government positions are for a certain race, which is not true, at least from a Midvaal perspective. So this is something we must promote as councillors, to say that apply if you meet the criteria, the qualifications, and you are within the equity targets. This is when you stand a better chance of being employed by the municipality. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, can we pass the item, please? Thank you very much. Mr.
Item C 3707, possible irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, various reports. Speakers for this item is from the Freedom Front Plus.
Alderman Papers.
Speaker, just a question again. This fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Are we following the rules regarding that? And how many or how much money has been recovered by doing this? Can you just let us know? Thanks, Speaker.
MMC Hutchison.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as Alderman Papers will know, that last year there was a backlog in the UIFW procedures. So we are catching up with them now. So really, up until this point, I can't say what money has been recovered because there's quite a lot of backlog. But going forward, we would see. The Alderman is part of Impact. So I'm somewhat surprised that he asks this question, because they actually bring the recommendations to council as proceed what should happen with the items that go there. But I'm sure during this year he will keep track, and he'll be able to know what we are able to claim back.
Thank you, MMC. Councillor Oliver.
Thank you very much. I know we are on Impact and we decide and talk about these things, but I want to put the record in this council, because I don't know if all of these things is and all the figures is right, because there's a lot of things that think is not right. There's things that's not been done. I've talked to the chairman about this, so I just want to put this on record to say that I don't think this is 100% right. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman. Do you want to say something, mate?
Mr. Speaker, just to say that we're reporting to council, so we're bringing all of these matters to council to report it to council. Thereafter, there will be a process, Alderman Papers. So it's a little bit premature at this stage to give you the value and everything. These are items that we are reporting to you at the moment. As MMC Hutchison has said, there is a backlog that is sitting within corporate services that we need to get through. And this is part of addressing that backlog and reporting it to council so that it can further unfold within the process. So, Alderman Papers, within due course, you will get the answer that you are looking for once we have finalized on some of these items. We are now bringing them forth. We have said, I think it's a matter that was raised by the Auditor General. I think you would have heard him mention it, exactly as you are saying. And this is why we are bringing these items to council, so we can report them, so we can kickstart the entire process, and it can go and serve at Impact and wherever it needs to serve. So yes, Alderman Papers, you will get the response that you are looking for in due course once the investigations are concluded. Thank you.
For clarity, please, Alderman.
Speaker, thank you. Just another question, my Speaker, is that how long is it going to take to get these documents to get it sorted out, that it's not be behind. How long period that's going to be taken, and is there any cases that's been handed over to the police yet? If I can just get that answer as well. Thank you.
Mayor?
Mr. Speaker, we on also there was a letter at the municipality from National Treasury in terms of the backlog of this UIFW register. So every council that we have, we are going to bring reports. We're going to bring them. This has not happened. There are pending cases, Mr. Speaker, from the previous term, not even from our term, that is still pending, that has not been concluded. So we have taken a decision as mayor that we need to attend that UIFW register, bring them to council. We're bringing them in this format because only council can make a solution on these particular matters. So that list, Alderman Papers, you are not wrong, you are correct. That is there, but it's, we are behind with that list. It's items from the previous term, 2019, etc., that we want to clear. So, Mr. Speaker, looking at around May, hopefully we may have cleared UIFW rate. And I think then the answers that Alderman Papers is looking for will be clearer at that particular stage, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mayor, can we then? Thank you. Ms. Jamlani?
Item C3708, to request for the approval of the appointment of the recommended candidate for Executive Director, Community Services. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much.
Item C3709, report on deviation of the supply chain management policy as required by the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulations, month of November 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we accepting the report? Thank you.
Item C3710, report on deviations from the supply chain management policy as required by the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulations, month of December 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
May we note the report, ladies and gentlemen?
Sorry, can I just point out to the councillors, this is something that they have been striving for 2 years at least. There are no deviations for December. We are very proud to bring this to you here today.
Thank you, MMC. Can we pass the report, ladies and gentlemen? Yes?
Mr. Speaker, just on a lighter note on that one, I was not happy with it. I said MMC, December. What can you do in December? December's half a month. Give it to me in January, February, March, full month. Then I will give you a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Executive. Pass the report.
Item C3711, report on cost containment measures applied by the municipality and the cost savings on the implementation of the cost containment measures in terms of the Municipal Cost Containment Regulations 2019 for the second quarter, 1 October 2025 to 30 December 2025 of the 2025-2026 financial year. Speaker, this item is from the Freedom Front Plus.
Just one thing, is there any things that we can they show savings and how the savings is done? Thank you.
MMC?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, if we look at our can assure the Alderman even supply their own milk. So there is big savings.
Thank you, MMC. You answered, Alderman. Thank you. May we pass the item? Thank you. Ms. Chabalala.
Item C 3712, report on withdrawals in terms of section 11.4A of the MFMA, 1 October 2025 to 31 December 2025. There are no for this item.
Report. Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C 3713, report of the implementation of the supply chain management policy for the second quarter of the 2025-2026 financial 1 October 2025 to 31 December 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Can we note the report? Thank you very much.
Item C 3714, bid 823124, 2025-26, bid for the financing of 31,131,500, VAT inclusive financing of various installment sale agreements to purchase various vehicles, plant and equipment for Midvaal local municipality. There are no speakers.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rana.
Items of the Mayoral Committee delegated. New motions, there are none. Last item, closure.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this meeting. I'm going to ask, please, that councillors just remain where they are, because there is an announcement. Cameras and members of the public, etc., because this is for councillors only. So thank you very much. Please just bear with us while we do the necessary.